Okay, I guess I've started here. Sorry. Having a bit of stress. What happened? The camera froze. Nothing worked. The game wouldn't go onto the software. So, a lot of stress. Oh, turn on the light. I'm going to go again. We're going to do this quickly, though. Sorry about that. I had to send it, and then I had to create a new link for YouTube and all the fun stuff that I have to do before I go live. And then nothing worked. It's really hot here. It was 39 degrees at 10 a.m. We're going to jump straight into it, okay? Let's go. First of all, let's go to the word of the day. Hang on, give me a second. I hope this is working. The sound is on. I need to move this away. And we need to go to the word of the day. Oh, look, it's a nice word today.
Amiable.
Amiable. Amiable.
Amiable.
Someone or something described as amiable is friendly and agreeable. Most children have amiable dispositions, which makes them very easy to travel with. This is a nice word. Here we're using Merriam-Webster. It's giving us the etymology or something. Anyway, let's get started with the game. So, excuse me anyway, I'm a bit stressed out. Let's begin. I'm hoping hope it works. I hope it works now. This is episode 2. We've just become president. I am Anton Rain. I am the 4th president of Sordland. I was elected in 1953, and I am with the United Sordland Party. Let's not spend too much time. Just choose the distinct look of the president. The confirmed style will remain throughout the story, and you won't be able to change it later. I think last time we did this. Balding, which isn't too far from me. Long hair. Completely bald. Yeah, I'm going to go for movie star. Facial hair. Ooh, comrade. Monarchist. Chief strategist with the goatee. Classy. Yeah, that's me. That would sum me up. I can go like Chairman Mao. Maroon suit. This is the pronunciation there. Suit. Sordland first. This is me, definitely. Sordland forever. Background. Yeah, gold, because I'm rich. Accessories. Glasses. Brown glasses. Thin glasses. Cigar. Pipe. Nothing. Gonna go for the cigar. Back in the 50s, everybody was smoking. I am. Right, what we said the last day was, as Anton, you've made consequential promises to the people of Sordland to gain their votes. Consider these commitments carefully. Okay, so again, I should explain. Where am I? Let's go into main. I played this game before. I played it during the dark days of COVID when we were all in lockdown. Like I said in the first episode, I found this game. Basically, I still do. I play Civilization 6, and in Civilization 6, you can be the Suzerain, as we learned last week, not Suzerain, I think it is, of, we'll have to check this in a minute. The Suzerain, I think, of cities or countries, and I did not know what this word meant, so I looked it up. I looked it up on the internet, and in my search, I came across this game. So I had a look at it, and I had to look at the reviews, because you know me, I like to look at reviews, and I bought it, and I played it. Now, I was reading something during the week, and their recommendation for this game is that you play it kind of to your political beliefs, you know, how you want to play it, how you are, you know, just to get a feel of the game, which I did. And It ended badly. It ended very, very, very badly, and I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to do any spoilers there, but it didn't end well, let's say. And what did I do? Looking back, I feel like I tried to please everyone. I tried to please everyone in the game. I tried to please the people on the right. I tried to please people on the left. I tried to please everybody. The religious lobby, the secular lobby, everybody. I tried to please everybody, and it didn't end well. I'll just leave it at that. It did not end well. So, what I was reading this week was how to play Suzerain, and they said play it through as you feel the first time. But then after that, because there are so many different endings to the game, you can make different choices. So this time, we are going to play it as a Sordland first. I'm going to be quite nationalist. Now, this is not my political beliefs, at all. I only think nationalism is good for football pitches, like for the Euro games, Spain, Albania, whatever, it doesn't matter. So these decisions I'm making are not my personal political beliefs. I'm just playing a game, okay? So let's get back. So we are going with we got to promote a planned economy. After the recent market reforms and the recession, the country finds itself stuck between two different economic systems with indecision and turbulence problems, causing the population to demand a direction. They want direction. As a leader, I will give them this, and I am going to promote kind of a capitalist market economy. In the first episode, I said it was my dream for Sordland to have a McDonald's. Again, in the last episode, we did this. As Anton, you have made consequential promises to gain their vote. Consider diplomatic leaning. Do I lean to the right? Do I lean to the left? I am going to remain neutral, everybody. In the last 5 years, Bloodish, Wessex, and Agnolian immigrants flocked to Sordland. So many immigrants due to relaxed immigration laws enacted by former President Alfonso. As a result, these tensions are causing requests for a political solution. I am going to toughen immigration laws. As I said a minute ago, these are not my political beliefs. Right, now we need to focus on something. We need to focus on education. The once praised public education system of the nation has suffered significant setbacks in the last decade. Setbacks, problems, the lack of new schools, high student-to-teacher ratios, low teacher salaries, yes, always a problem. Teachers not being paid enough. And even a lack of classroom equipment in certain parts of the country cause massive divergences in the public education system. Now, I chose myself to be from a rich family. I am a rich kid, okay? And what did I study? I studied history, I think. I need to check that. Hang on, no, what? Oh. Education, defense. The Swedish Armed Forces, the army, were the nation's most funded branch until the Alfonso government reduced the defense budget significantly. Fantastic word here. Anyone doing exams? A big change, you know what I mean, yeah? Prices have risen significantly in recent years. We have seen a significant drop in unemployment. A large change, with the increase of saber-rattling threats looming in the north by Rumburg and a growing presence of the superpowers in the region. The critical deterrence of the SAF matters more than ever. Let's have a look at this. So the army received a lot of money from the government until the last president. And he reduced the budget, the amount of money we have, a lot, significantly. With the increase of saber rattling threats, I think a saber is some sort of sword. And to rattle your saber is kind of like to make threats, saber rattling. So saber rattling threats looming, coming in the north by Rumburg. We'll look at the map in a second. And a growing presence of the superpowers. So we have two superpowers. We have basically, it's kind of like the United States and the USSR. So it's kind of capitalism versus communism in this game. And they're on both sides of us, you know? So we have to play this game very carefully. Law and enforcement. The recent culminating political tension between the different youth groups and socioeconomic pressures between multiple classes of society is increasing the issues of the law and enforcement systems. Police need help keeping up with increased... Hang on. Open this a bit. Police need help keeping up... Oh, hang on. Have I not got the camera on? Hang on. Yay! Sorry. I did this in the last game as well, you know? Sorry about that. I don't know how long that was going on. I am here, though. Okay, it's working, yeah? Alright. I'm paranoid now with the camera. So let's continue. The recent culminating political tension between the different youth groups and socio-economic pressures between multiple classes of society is increasing the issues of the law and enforcement systems. Police need help keeping up with increased crime rates. So crime is increasing and the police need help. Simultaneously, judges in courts deal with an enormous growing backlog of legal cases. So imagine at work I'm ill or something and I'm off for a few days. When I come back to work, there's always going to be a backlog of work for me. Okay, so education, the army, law enforcement, health. Sordland's health system and healthcare quality have stagnated. They've stopped to stagnate due to administrative inefficiencies, increased service demand, and an increasing divide in service quality between urban and rural hospitals. The average life expectancy has dropped significantly, there's that word again, with issues such as maternity deaths, and disease outbreaks. We can have an outbreak of disease. We can have an outbreak of violence, yeah? Okay. Yes. 2 weeks. Hang on. I'm having issues here. 1 second. Okay. Let me just go here for a second. Options. Okay. Turn the music down. Okay, I got a bad feeling about this stream. Alright, 2 weeks have passed. And now I was about to be sworn in. Sordland forever! Thousands were watching the inauguration ceremony and cheering my name. Anton Rain! Yay! The die was cast. Been Shakespeare there for you. The die was cast, so it's done. It's done, everybody. Here we go. In the distance, the Maroon Palace stood on top of the famous Hill of Pride. I had no way of knowing what future awaited me there. I'm going to turn this music off. Hang on. Well, maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. I had no way of knowing what future awaited me there. I looked at my family. My son and daughter, Frank and Diana, were next to Monica, my wife. Her eyes were glimmering with pride. Then I turned towards the key people who made it all possible. Of course, each individual was promised an important decision in my government. So I've made a lot of promises. I saw my previous rival and former president, Ewald Alfonso, who gave me a slight nod. I talked with Saul, who was also invited to the He was kind of the guy who won the Civil War and he was for a long time. And now he's retired, I suppose. You know, he's like but also in reality that situation was awkward. The chief something don't listen from dawn to dusk, dawn before it's night. It dawned on me. I realized I should have. So I realized that or some Chief Justice blah 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 forever. I suppose he represents the majority of the figure in Swordfish politics. I need him happy. I swear. I'm ready. Happy. Let's start. Let's start. Please repeat me. I solemnly swear. I solemnly swear. Yeah, okay. Okay, I solemnly swear that I will respect the President of the defense and the Constitution of the President. It's an honor. Here's his brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters. Sisters! The crowd of unity, dire situation, change, unity for the rest. Terrible situation, dire. I went to a last night. It was dire. I remember that dire straits. Dire straits is really dire situation. You go together. We will bring study for our nation. I will change the night part. Let's stand together. We fail. It is a plague. But if some cases continue to do it, hope, I'm going to. Or last year, we will stop the eliminate poverty. Easy. The whole world and first this is my new plan. I want to create a change from 19 again. Change on this today. No, I said in the same. I'm rich. Yeah, I'm rich. I'm the elite. So maybe change not much of that. I'm not really into the power of the powerhouse and regional capacity and kind of Alright. Okay, everything's working? Okay, alright, sorry, I thought something went wrong there. I'm having a lot of issues today. I don't know if it's just the heat and the machines don't want to work in the heat, but anyway, we'll keep going. If not, I'll just delete it and play it again sometime. Where were we? Yeah, right, we're going for optimism. Hundreds of thousands cheered. They were shouting my name in unison. I felt the responsibility, the power, and the burden all at the same time. So, I'm starting to realize being president is serious business. Let's continue. Now, do I raise my fist? Or maybe the royal way? Or do I enjoy the moment? I'm going to enjoy the moment. I'm going to take a time out and just absorb the love, absorb it. Taking a deep breath. I enjoyed the moment. Very good. You have to enjoy the moment every now and again, everybody. We have to just relax. Don't worry about everything. Relax and enjoy the moment. Very important lesson. I took a long look at the people of Sordland to burn this moment into my memory. Because they didn't have phones back then, you know what I mean? So it was all about the memory. You weren't just like taking selfies and stuff. One of the presidential guards. Guards, no, it's a pronunciation there. Guards, not guards. Came by to notify me that it was time to leave. I made my way to the leading car in the motorcade, in the number of cars. You know, when the president moves, it's not just one car, is it? There's a load of them. A motorcade. The presidential state car was a jetback Cadilla, with flags of Sordland above the front headlines. Next to it, a man was holding the door. I kind of like this, yeah? Hello, Mr. President. This is Serge Walkner. I still felt euphoric from the aftermath of my speech. Hearing my new title made me smile even more. Mr. President. Fantastic. If you'll allow me to introduce myself, I am Sergey, your new driver. Nice to meet you. It's an honor, Your Majesty. He respectfully bowed his head before opening the door and gesturing inside. I entered the car. Okay, cool. We'll be going. Where are you heading? We're heading to the palace. My palace? The motorcade began to move. On the way, Sergey proceeded to explain his duties as a driver. As minutes passed by, I found myself lost in thought again, barely paying attention to what he was saying. He suddenly gestured out the window. Isn't it a beauty? The Maroon Palace. Here we go. The Maroon Palace is where the executive branch of the government is situated. It was constructed to serve... I haven't read it, but it quickly became a structure of political importance. It has 100 rooms with several wings housing different branches. Nice. I'll take it. He was right. Sunlight glinted off the palace's many maroon-colored domes. It was so bright, I had to look away. Every time I look at it, I am reminded of my duty to this nation. Sordland. It's in good hands now. So do I, Sergey. It's the beating heart of the nation. Ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. We all owe a great debt. Notice the pronunciation, everybody. No B. Debt. the men who led the country from here. It's just a building, Sergey. It's the beating heart of the nation. It's an iconic landmark, I suppose you'd say. And we will turn it into a McDonald's when the capitalism kicks in, everybody. Well said, Mr. President. I'll have some chicken nuggets for that, please. Mac nuggets, sorry. The car drove past the majestic gates, continued uphill to the entrance, and stopped in front of the doors. Sergey got out of the car and opened the door for me. I could get used to this. I could get used to this kind of people opening doors for me and stuff. You know what I mean? Never happens. Never happens. I've got a cat who just treats me, who despises me, treats me with contempt. That's basically all I get. Have a great day, Mr. President. Morgna Westcore. He referred to the famous sordid phrase from the times of the Revolution, Morgna Westcorne Vectern Sista, which meant morning will come, victory is close. I like it. I'm going to say victory is close. I made my way upstairs through the extravagant corridors of the palace. Marble and engraved wooden finishes decorated the interior. Very plush building. Almost. No. We'll stop there. My footsteps echoed in the colossal halls. Colossal. Huge. The guards bowed their heads in respect as I opened the massive doors to my new office. Party time, everybody. We got the power. So here we are. Here's the map. Hang on, how do I do this again? I was having problems the last day. How do I zoom in? Zoom in, zoom out. This is the capital. These are our cities. Hey. We've got some messages. I think these people, yeah, this is Rumber, where they're kind of getting stronger. We have different regions, you can see. Lesbia, I think these are the capitalists. I think these are the American kind of, or at least aligned with the Americans. This is a kind of a crazy country over here, I think. I don't know, is it green? Oh, no, it's Valglazan. Valglazan are the kind of communist kind of nation. Well, we've got something here, let's find out. And this is the capital, Sordland. Okay, we've got open city information. We've got briefing of the current political situation, economic situation, read the report. Let's have a quick look at the city. Greater Holzord Region. Status capital. Industrial center. USP mayor. Okay, USP is the United Sordland Party, so that's us. 5.2 million, so that would be maybe the size of Madrid or maybe Ankara. It's the biggest city. It has 15.2, alright, GDP ranking second. And then we can see like ethnicity and religion here as well. Okay, we're not going to go there. Let's go back to Sordland. Let's talk about political, economic, or read the report. Let's read the report. Logistical issues. In recent update from Holzord, the mayor expressed growing concerns about escalating traffic congestion, traffic jams, linked to the city's burgeoning population, growing population, and rapid urban expansion. A logistics report identified the significant, there's that word again, everyone, the significant increase in traffic volume and the subsequent flowing of transportation routes as the capital's most pressing issue. So, traffic, like everywhere, yeah, like every city in every country, traffic, too many cars. The mayor stressed that the lack of a comprehensively designed, large-scale, land-based logistics hub, serving as a converging point for all transporters, is exacerbating the issues, making worse the issues faced by domestic transporters. Given Holzor's status as a sprawling metropolis, sprawling, really, really big, the current situation where transporters have established separate centres across 10 different districts is scattered and inefficient. So, normal. Okay, I don't know what that's going on about. Let's talk about economics. It's all fun and games here, everybody. So, Simon Hall, Gus Meyer, and Lilias Graf were about to arrive at the White Room for a scheduled economy meeting. This was the room in the Maroon Hotel, Palace Maroon Hotel. Did I give away a Freudian slip there that I'm going to sell it as soon as possible? Where all important meetings. Let's have a look. Simon. Simon, I think he's supposed to be a really good economist, isn't he? Gus is my mate, he's my friend. Lilias is the Minister of Interior, current Minister of Interior, she's a member of Sordland since its formation. Let's just go down to the bottom. She's credited for the economic booms and known for supporting socially conservative politics. She's respected as an expert on urban development and police relations. As one of the most influential supporters of Anton Ray's candidacy, she argued with her large conservative support in the elections. Soon after, she left her position as the mayor to become a minister. Okay, so she's important. Gus is my mate, Minister of Rural Development, Simon. Okay. Two assistants arrived first carrying a heavy projector. They stood with it by the door, waiting for the ministers to enter. Because remember, it's 1950s or something like that, yeah? It's like a long, long time ago. From the hallway, I heard Lilias Graf's voice. She was using the patient, almost motherly tone she often took in heated arguments. Gus, do you really think that such an economically advanced area is more in need of investment than Angland? Lilias, my dear, my interior minister sorry. Lilias, my interior minister strode in. She was clad in shades of brown and beige, the only spot of colour a bright yellow whatever cross on her necklace. Gus followed her behind. Oh, this is a religious thing, I think, yeah. Don't be an idiot, Lilias. What about the unemployment crisis the Greater Holzort and Gelsland regions are going through? These areas are our economic heartland. They're really important to us. Gus curled his hands into fists. The Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development's temper hadn't changed since his days in the Alfonso administration, but neither had his reputation for getting things done. His far-reaching network of connections was unlike any other. This is Gus, right? This is my boy. Simon quickly stepped between the two ministers without looking at either of them. He cleared his throat. Good morning, Mr. President. Good morning, everybody. How are you? How's it going? I'm very well and motivated, Mr. Rain. It seems our ministers are feeling the same. Just as expected. How is it going, Gus? I can see that. What was the discussion about? Great to hear it. Let's begin. Yeah, I'm going to let them fight it out, yeah? I'm not getting involved in the small stuff, you know? I'm the president. Of course, Mr. President. Simon pulled a silk handkerchief out of his pocket and briefly wiped his glasses. My staff and I have comprehensively analysed every aspect of... It was interrupted by a groan from one of the assistants by the door, both of whom were now visibly struggling to hold up the heavy projector. "Oh, you can put it there," said Simon. He pointed below the painting of President Saul. Tarquin, that's the old fella living on the island. The assistants placed the projector next to the table and installed a white screen on the wall. So this would have been high-tech stuff back in 1954 or whatever it was. "Leave now. I mean, thank you. And please leave now." The assistants left the cabinet room. I was reminded that Simon had never quite had a way with people, but his facility with numbers had made him the most sought-after economic specialist in Sordland. Sought after. Everybody wants him. A sought-after speaker, somebody who's really good at like public speaking. Maybe they are very much sought after. Simon started looking for his slides for the projector. He always carried documentation around with him. Wait or... No, I'm going to wait. Lydia leaned to the table and spoke. "Simon, what happened to the new PlayStation construction in Estord?" While going through his briefcase, he paused for a moment to answer. "It got stalled, it got delayed, due to a government property boundary issue. I've been meaning to look at it." This is where we are, everybody. We're playing video games and we're talking about property boundary issues. We're talking about red tape, yeah? And it's never been so exciting. I can take a look at that one. Estord needs all the security it can get. I don't know where Estord is, to be honest, but we'll check it. "Sure, more time for me to spend on analysis." His eyes glittered when he finally found the slides he was looking for. "There have been some developments about the Swordfish Wren losing further value. We have been trying to stabilize it with the central bank." We are talking currency, everybody. Life does not get more exciting than this. The recession of 51 put enormous pressure on the economy. Nice intensifier there. Enormous pressure, resulting in the collapse of the value of our currency. The entire situation was a significant cause of concern for our administration, government. So, the economy is not so good. What would you like to know about the current economic situation? What's the state of the business? You know, I'm not going to look at the details. I'm just going to give me the overview. Give me the big picture. The economy has been in recession about -6% in the past year. The average gross domestic product, isn't it, has dropped from... Can you say this number? Okay, here we go. 15,454. 15,454. 15,454. Okay, numbers. Per capita to 10,359. 10,359 from 1951 to now. The administration's success depends on our ability to stop the recession. The sooner we can reach GDP growth, the better. Okay, so we need to grow the economy. That's all I need. Simon scattered the paper stack in front of him in an orderly manner and took a final look at his notes before clearing his throat. As you can see, the situation is alarming. But not everything is negative. The extensive privatization program of Afonso and key foreign direct investments left us a large budget surplus which we can use to stabilize the crisis. The primary subject we need to settle on is what general path we will take in our term. Solonomics-based nationalization happened in the 30s, And Alfonso's privatization began during the end of the 40s. What are we going to do in the 50s? One of our main promises was to promote a free market economy. McDonald's in every city. To be frank, I believe it's the only way out of the recession. Okay. Chicken McNuggets are going to save us. I still do not support it. Why promote the private sector when we have qualified state-owned enterprises? Tell me more, Lilius. Because the lack of competition has made them inefficient, says Gus. Ooh. Simon nodded. What are the consequences of the free market? The more of the economy we control, the better we can manage the recession. What are the downsides? What are the negatives of a planned economy? Humanity in the 20th century is thriving because of the rule of supply and demand. Is thriving, is doing really well. I'm going to go with this one. Agreed! Look at how quickly Lesbia and Arcasia have increased their prosperity by embracing basic principles. Excuse me. So these countries are going free market, yeah, basically capitalist. Sordland has the potential to do so well. Why don't we take our potential seriously? Integrating heavily in a market economy would work if we had extensive means of production. Our industry is lacking. Trading heavily in a market economy would work if we had the means of production, factories, etc., to produce. Our industry is lacking. We don't have enough industry. Simon says, the structural problems of Solonomics were going to lead to a recession according to the predictions at the time anyway. Either way, even if we pick one of the doctrines, we retain the option to make economic choices on a case-by-case basis. So each individual situation, basically tactical, isn't it? That is, however, not recommended in my point of view. The last thing we need is a chaotic economic plan. Well, welcome. I am the president. If you are going to see chaos. Finally, something we can both agree on. Let's agree to disagree. There is another important point which has a direct impact. Superpowers! What would be your superpower? Yeah? Seemingly, my friends have told me that my superpower, I already have it. My superpower is repeating myself. I repeat myself a lot. We have done well not aligning ourselves with any one of them. So the superpowers now, it's basically like the former Soviet Union and the United States. These are the superpowers, the big players, the big dogs in the game, yeah? Economically speaking, an isolationist policy overall could only work if we were to reap the benefits of both spheres and their rivalry. This is very dangerous to attempt, but still possible. So we need to play them off against each other. You know what I mean? We stay in the middle and we try to play the communists and the capitalists off, to play them off, and we make the most, you know what I mean? We get the benefits. It's a dangerous game, but it is possible. Exciting stuff, everyone. We must be cautious. We must be careful. There are schemes being devised about Sordland. We cannot give in to their wants now or in the future. Otherwise, our country will turn into a pawn. Not pawn. Pawn. A pawn is a piece in chess. You know, it's both the lowest, weakest piece in a chessboard. No, it's the pawns go at the front, and then you have the queen and the king and the bishop and the knight. So pawns are both the weakest, but also they can possibly if played correctly, they can be the strongest because you can promote the pawn to a queen or rook, whatever, you know. So they are both very strong and very weak. But to be a pawn is to be like you're being manipulated, yeah? If you are a pawn, someone is manipulating you to do what they want. Sordland will not be controlled by any nations. Exactly. Saul was right all along with his policies. I still haven't decided if they wish to come with a deal. Time will show if staying neutral will work out. Yeah, I want to stay neutral. We must make it work to protect our country and our values. There is no other way. There's no other way. We need to be open to other possibilities. Arcasia is a strong country, and if we end up, that's America, right? If we end up in their sphere, under their wing, Sordland would increase its influence in the world. So if we go with the Americans, otherwise known as Arcasia, we could become quite influential. The deals we would get would surely bring us out of recession. So we could make some deals with Arcasia, which would make us a lot of money, would bring a lot of jobs, it would get us out. It would bring us out of the economic recession. In return for what? For independence, for freedom. Lilith had a sip of water from her glass. When the time comes, I hope you will make the right decision for our own good. I'm smoking away there, you know, I'm smoking on my cigar, listening to everybody, yeah. I am going to rain chaos on this country. We should attract more foreign direct investment, Mr. President. We saved the country from a full-on depression in 52 and 53 by signing lucrative trade deals with nations such as Rizia, Lesbia, and Kina. Lucrative makes a lot of money. Something is lucrative. It makes a lot of money. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not think too far in the future. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Minister Whiskey will be in charge of informing you on those types of foreign policy decisions. We must first decide on our internal economic plan. Okay. Simon put forward a legal document outlining the possibilities of both economic doctrines listed. The cabinet ministers looked at me. We have to thank Saul and his planned economy for the boom. It clearly shows the success. Let's finish what Alfonso started with the capitalist free market reforms. His path was going to enrich Sordland. What's on our long-term economic schedule? Would a free market focus bring us stronger allies? We need to make some friends, everybody. It would make Arcasia look at our country in a more positive light. The Americans, they are proponents of the free market economy. We're gonna get a McDonald's, we're gonna get a McDonald's, we're gonna have chicken nuggets tonight, chicken McNuggets tonight. The influence Arcasia has on the world economy is extensive. Our economic strategy should be based on internal reasoning, though. So they got the money, they got the big bucks. Let's finish it. Let's move on to the conclusion. What are your final thoughts, Mr. President? Smoking my fat cigar. Critical institutions must remain in state control. We must be fully responsible in delivering services. We should look at opportunities like privatization to create financial resources A market economy doesn't require as much guidance and could help us attract foreign capital. It's hard to fully agree or disagree with these options. Okay, now, you have to remember, I'm rich. I'm from a rich family. I am the elite. So, life is easy for me, and I'm also the president. I think a market economy doesn't require as much guidance and it could help us attract foreign capital. Or we should look at opportunities like privatization. No. No, I'm going to go for this one. Foreign investment, I can make even more money. This is where I'm at. This is the plan. I want to enrich myself as president. Especially from Acacia, President Walker is always interested in expanding the economic zone of ATO. We could secure lucrative investment from capitalist countries. ATO? The Arcasian Treaty Organization is an intergovernmental military and economic alliance between 14 countries, primarily led by Recently, it has become increasingly focused on increasing the nuclear protection as the new military weapon as advanced enough to become part of warfare. So that's basically NATO, isn't it? But with an economic thing, so kind of like NATO, EU, European Union. Nuclear protection. So what will our general economic plan promote? We're going to promote a free market economy as we promised. I promised you chicken McNuggets. You will get chicken McNuggets. I can't say that I agree with this. She looks displeased. Now that there is clarity on which direction we are going, I will work on a good plan accordingly. This concludes our meeting. At our next gathering, we will talk about the upcoming infrastructure investment plan. Now that the economic direction was taken, the ministers dispersed for lunch at the Maroon Palace. Okay, lunch, everybody. We've made the hard decisions. All right. Let's have a look at these. What do they want here? What's this? Surge in demand for local wines. Everybody's happy. I'm president. Okay, more wine. Okay, more unemployment. Alright, this is like kind of stuff going on, yeah. What's going on up here? Anything interesting? No. What's going on here? Okay. Logistic costs, what appears, so some sort of infrastructure is needed there. Larand. The report calls the attention to the alarmingly low levels of productivity growth, where there is also high rates of food insecurity, malnutrition, and rural poverty, so they need some investment there. Lenkerg. Again, infrastructure. Okay. What is this? Suppose oil extraction for essential maintenance, so we're losing oil until then. Okay, so we've lost some sort of oil. God, it's nothing good here. Infrastructure. Gelzor, infrastructure. Sarna. Oh, good news. So we've been become a powerhouse in the future if investments persist. Okay, good. So that's kind of good news. Anything else? Anybody else? Anybody else got anything to complain about? The main approach, I hope he keeps supporting as possible economic alternative investment. So yeah, I can see a lot of stuff going on about investment here. Yeah, okay, we can sort that out. Yeah, because you know we've got loads of money. Briefing of the current political situation. The political situation. Peter arrived a couple of minutes early and sat across from me. He was struggling to hold back his smile. That's not very good, but you know what I mean. We did it, Anton. We've won. We finally, all those games we played with the media have paid off. It pays off. If something pays, this is a good expression. You know, I say to a student, they pass their exam, and I say, all that study, all that hard work you did paid off. Yeah, it was worth it. You know, you studied really hard, you passed the exam, it paid off. It's a nice expression. Peter's eyes sparkled. The strain of the past months had put a damper on his usual rakish charm, but today he was looking and acting more like his old self. He loosened his tie and undid the top 2 buttons of his shirt, so he's making himself comfortable. So he's been a bit stressed, obviously, for the last couple of months, and now he's a bit more relaxed. Enjoying the new secretary I picked out for you. Thought you'd appreciate her gorgeous set of talents. It's a shame the rest of your staff aren't as easy on the eyes. Now, this is 1954, everybody, so people probably did talk like that back then. He gestured to the slight paunch that protruded over his waistband. But hey, back in university, did you ever imagine we would be sitting in the Maroon Palace? We have to celebrate the great victory. Hell yeah. Let's celebrate. I got my hands on something special, and every Maroon 30-year-old, sounds like a whiskey, will celebrate at the inaugural ball. Just hang in there this evening. This is not the time to celebrate, Peter. We have work to do. Let's get the party started. Come on. I opened the expensive bottle of whiskey and poured the 2 glasses I prepared. The exquisite smell filled the room. The 1924, that was my freshman year. Also the year after the revolution. Difficult times, to be honest. But this smells like heaven. The future awaits, Peter. Screw 1924. It's tainting the moment. Yeah, it's bad memories. The future awaits. It's all about positivity here, everybody. As president, I have no idea what's going on. I don't know what they're talking about when they're talking about GDP and blah, 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 blah. I'm here for the vibes. The good vibes. Toast. In Irish we say, Sláinte. I raised my glass and toasted with Peter before smelling the whiskey and taking a sip. The sweet vanilla tone, combined with an oaky taste, developed into a lingering smokiness. No, I don't have any idea what he is talking about either. Peter really seemed to be enjoying himself. What a taste! This is how we should start all meetings, Anton. We wouldn't get much done. Remember the last administration? We could, but maybe we shouldn't. Or, hell yeah! But unfortunately, there is no hell yeah option. Maybe not, but thanks for the drink. This is really amazing. The door swung open and Lucien Gallade, my chief strategist, walked in. He was a compact man with sharp, bird-like features. After briefly surveying the room from wall to wall, he sat down, poured a glass of water, and opened his briefcase in a series of quick, graceful movements. Okay, let's check this guy out. Who is he? He's a media, what? He's the media... My chief strategist. So, is he like a spin doctor, I suppose, maybe? Born in 1899... Galad was one of the earliest supporters of Anton Ring's thing. So, okay, so he's loyal. His strategic input was crucial to the success. Following victory, he took on his current role, just so it sort of solidifies his influence. Okay, so he's a good guy. He's with us. Gentlemen, the tall case clock in the room struck 3 o'clock. Bong, bong, bong. Damn, you are exactly on time. Hello, Peter. Lucian then turned towards me. He very slightly bowed his head. Very slightly. Glad to see you, Lucian. Lucian, how are you? Let's not waste any time. How are you? More informal, he's a friend. How's it going? How's it going, Lucian? You know? I am ready and able, sir. Very good, because I don't have a clue what I'm doing. Lucian spoke in a soft, clipped tones that immediately drew your attention towards what he had to say. Peter and I waited for him to proceed. Let's start by evaluating our current situation. Okay, we're going to get an overview of the political situation. The majority of the Swordish people demand change. They are more concerned about the economy than the constitution, but they blame the system for their problems. People are losing their trust in our democracy. Why do you think radicals like Bernard Circas are becoming more popular? Everyone is expecting us to bring the change the last government did not. Who's this fella? Swordish poet, novelist, short story writer, and communist politician. He's acclaimed for his lyrical flow and was regarded to be the leader of the Swordish avant-garde. In 1950, he returned to Sordland following the departure of Saul. He organized strikes against Swordish government's failure to include amnesty laws and started to become a popular figure. He ran as an independent, became the first communist to be elected. Okay, so he's some communist guy. Now, as an elite rich kid, yeah, he's not my cup of tea. Because I'm rich. I'm the elite. And I like it like that. Franz Rector, leader of the Reformists, believes that true change can only be accomplished by transferring some of our powers to the Assembly. What? I will move into the details of their demands shortly. I agree. Our responsibility is to democratize our broken system. We need to listen to the people if we want to serve the country. No, I am all about me. If we lose power, we won't be able to execute the changes we need to make for the good of the country. Well, we're just in power, so, you know, we've got time. I think, yeah, I'm going populist. Yeah, we need to listen to the people. What do the people want? And then we'll give it to them. Because I'm here for the vibes, everybody. It won't be easy. We will need many allies against the old guard in the government. The old guard meaning like the old people, the old fellas, you know. Group of influential individuals. They've been there forever, probably. Yeah. They control the security. It remains a subject of intrigue, conjecture, and controversy even. Ooh, the old guard. So it's like, is it a rumor? Is it a myth? Or is it real? That would be the... What would you call it, like? The deep state, maybe. The deep state. Mr. Richter managed to persuade many members of the Assembly to give their support for drafting new constitution. Reformist politicians are quickly increasing in number. reformism is becoming popular. While the reformist wing inside our party is still a minority, they could have a tripartisan majority in the assembly, especially if they unite under Franz Richter. Who is this guy? He's a Swedish politician, businessman, and the leader of the People's Freedom and Justice Party. He is also a major shareholder of construction company Taurus Holding. Franz Richter remains as the leader of the opposition against the government. Okay, so he's my foe. He's been gaining more popularity. He organized countless public speeches explaining the importance of democratic values and his plans for reform. Okay, right. So we can just pay him off, I'm sure. The USP reformers aren't wrong to agree that we need change, but we should be in charge. Mr. Richter could be a potential ally in our goal to maintain a majority. Our party must fall in line with our position. We can't have a strong divide. No, I won't do. I won't accept any dissension. Yeah, I'm the leader. I'm the vibes guy, and I'm in charge. Yeah, I will not have people disagreeing with me. If our party fractures, it's the opposition that will benefit. The reformists' demands are clear. They want to limit the president's veto powers, ensure the Supreme Court is independent, and take away the court's right to vote on constitutional amendments. They want to limit my veto powers. To veto a law, to veto something, ensure that the Supreme Court is independent, and take away the court's right to vote on constitutional amendments. I support the reformers. We need a proper balance of power in this country. We must listen to their demands, otherwise we are no different from the previous administrations. I won't allow them to influence me. We will shape our own future. I agree, sir. The old guard will do its best to preserve the Constitution. Chief Justice Hawker and his allied judges have a great influence over the Supreme Court, which will be tough to break. The court also has the final say over constitutional legislation. Without their approval, we cannot even change it. We'll need a comprehensive bill to balance the power structure more fairly. We must break the power one way or another. I'd rather not go against them. The risks are too high. Yeah. No, I'm rich. I'm the elite. I'm not going to be messing with them. True, but we can't let the old guard manipulate us and then backstab us like they did with Alfonso to backstab someone. It's like when you trust them and they do something against you, it's to stab you in the back. Et tu, Brutus. Looks like we have many challenges ahead. We cannot allow obstructionists to exist. We can't underestimate the situation. Yeah, just vibes, man. Vibes. We can figure it out. Oh, figure it out. We can work it out. Our party still holds 130 out of 250 seats. We got the power! However, to reform the Constitution, we must receive a 2/3 majority, which is 166 votes, and a simple majority in the Supreme Court, which equates to 6 votes. So, I want to change the Constitution. I need 36 votes, and I need some... How many people are on the Supreme Court? How many people? Well, maybe we'll find out later on. 12, 13? I don't know. After we've settled on how to proceed, we will need to talk with our party figures. Our first goal must be to get 150 signatures to start the process. Following the green light from the USP, it's the political party, Sordland, We will reach out to other party leaders to see if they would back our draft. The last step is to convince the judges. The entire process will take a long time, but we will start working with a reform committee to evaluate all possibilities of a new constitution as soon as possible. I think I said at my inauguration speech or something, I think I said I was going to change the constitution, so I'm kind of obliged. Okay, we'll write a more democratic constitution with the reformists. The new constitution should give the president wide-ranging powers to lead Sordland into the future. We could work with the old guard to protect our existing extensive powers. I'm rich. I'm the elite. I don't want dramatic change, everybody, because I'm living well at the moment. I'm going to work with the old guard. Peter says, how? You know the public wants us to enact extensive reforms, and how do we know if the old guard would support you? Oh, God, that doesn't seem to be the best answer then, yeah? All right, so maybe that one. If we go against the demands of the people, the reformers will be furious. It could backfire. So I kind of guess I make promises that I change everything, and now I'm saying, nah. Okay, we better. Okay, it's too dangerous. It is not a risk worth taking, says Lucien. What do you... now, Lucien is sound. Like, he's been with me from the beginning. He's my strategist. What do you suggest? According to the initial draft we made with the reformers, there are two changes to the constitution that are not open for their discussion. Okay, not open for discussion is they will not change their mind. He opened his dossier. First, the Supreme Court will no longer vote on constitutional amendments. Okay, so it's the politicians who can change stuff. Second, the president's absolute veto will be taken away. Never! That can be replaced with a limited veto system by fixing the current loopholes. I like veto. I like my veto. I have no problem with these clauses. Let's work. Okay, I agree. We should take power away from the justice system. You see what's happening in the United States at the moment, where, it's political. It's not neutral. It's completely political. No, this is not happening. I'd rather not include either. Okay, I'm going to go for it. Yes, sir. Lucien nodded. Okay, he's happy. We will form a reform committee together with all parties and start reaching out to the stakeholders in the Assembly and the Court for a new constitution. Okay, it's a go, everybody. But later in the year, we should have an idea of the reform contents and what other parties want, says Peter. All right, so we're going to do a report, which is basically government, I think, isn't it? Like, let's do a report. Lucien took notes. Another important point, we must be aware of the Lotharberg group. The oligarchs convene under this organization to influence economic policies. Conrad led it for a long time before falling ill. The new leader is Mr. Walter Tusk. The oligarchs, the rich, richer than me, maybe. Walter Tusk, millionaire businessman, Lotharberg Group, Economics Group, Burgess Steel, Action Times. Walter is generally regarded as the leader of the Lotharberg Group, and due to his connections, the most important businessman in Sordland. Yeah, you wait until I make my money. According to reports, some members of the National Business Council are in their pockets. Tusk and the group will surely try to bribe us in exchange for special economic protections. Alright, there's some good language here. To be in their pocket means they are controlled, Like, a politician could be in the pocket of the oil companies, imagine, they're financial or whatever, but they're in their pocket. We often use it in soccer as well, in football. So imagine there's a really good attacker, I don't know, imagine Kylian Mbappe, and the defender is really good, and Kylian Mbappe does nothing in the whole game. They say, oh, he was in his pocket. He was in the defender's pocket. We kind of use this as an expression as well in football. Okay, so the oligarchs have turned up. They might try to bribe us. Bribe is to pay money under the table, illegal payments. They might try to bribe me in exchange for special economic protections. Oh no, I could never take a bribe. Maybe. I want to work with them. The new administration will be open to talk to business. We are going a free market. I won't be bought. They're not going to bribe me. It won't happen. I will enter a dialogue with them. Eventually, we need to be diplomatic. We won't let these privileged, greedy, and snobby capitalists run the country. But I am privileged, probably quite greedy, and a little bit snobby. I'm just not the big businessman yet. I'm the president. Yeah, we're going to be open to talking to the businessmen. They got the money. It's always easier for the administration to have business support. Businesses support. Businesses. Yeah. That's so funny. Lucien looked at Peter. As far as I know, Marcel Coronti has some strong ties to this group. His influence could definitely be an asset, but I'm sure he'll want something in return. Who's this fella? Marcel Coronti is a Swedish businessman, philanthropist, entrepreneur, maybe like a wannabe James Bond. In 1950, started advertising. Okay, he's advertising in media. Advertising in media could be important for us. I'm aware of Coronti's wide network. This could come in handy. It could be useful. It could come in handy. A mobile phone is very handy. When I'm outside, I can communicate. It's very handy. A nice expression. The group's influence is an important force, one that we should use to our administration's advantage. That group is dependent on our economic policies. They can't move a finger without us. Tusk is heading the group. We will make sure he's on our side. Coronti, he's a media guy, right? So he's in the media, advertising in media. As a politician, this could be seriously important because he has influence, yeah? We just need to be careful with it. He looks like the lesser evil, but it could very quickly turn out to be the other way around. Ooh, beware. We need to tread carefully, to walk carefully on all sides with all power players to survive our term. 4 years. We've been elected for a term. I need to underline the seriousness of the situation. Hey, I'm drinking whiskey, mate. Yeah, I understand it's serious. Cheers! The military and general staff are a powerful element. Ooh, bangers. Are a powerful element in the state, and as history tells us, a dangerous one too. We do have some room to make structural changes, but by reducing their budget, for example, but it's quite limited. Yeah, you don't want to piss off the army, the military, especially in these days. I want to receive the advice of the military before making up my mind. I don't want to die in prison, just like Arthur Whiskey did, with the Rumburg threat on the horizon. That's the country to the north. We can't reduce our defense capability and anger our general staff. The military have been nothing but a burden. We should do something drastic like cutting their funding. No, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea to antagonize the military at the moment. I want to receive the advice. Let's go check out the military. It is sound to listen to them, but they have very biased and narrow opinions. Nationalism clouds their minds. Sordland forever! General Kruger is a spectre of the past. He's a ghost. Who is this general? Here we go. Wow. He looks very general-like, doesn't he? 4-star general, blah, 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 blah. Vulcan was one of the key supporters of Saul. He became a chief, becoming the oldest person to hold the title. So he's an old boy. He'd be the old guard. Defense Minister Joseph Lancia is more loyal to us compared to General Kruger. A fact that obviously can change with our actions. Either way, I see a potential rift between the two since they are clearly of different minds. How are we doing? We're going for 82 minutes. I think what we're going... I don't know. I'm going to stop. I've got to go and do a class now as well, you know? And it's super, super hot. I might have mentioned that. Lucian looked at his watch. Well then, gentlemen, precisely 30 minutes. This concludes our political briefing today. Our next meeting will be about our media strategy. Talk to you soon, sir. I will keep in touch. Keep the good vibes, Lucian. See you both at the next meeting, says Peter. Lucian and Peter bid their farewells and left. Goodbye, goodbye. A mysterious amount of smoke was rising far away on the horizon. Okay, that's saved. Alright. Whiskey bottle. Government budget. Personal wealth. Wow, I've got a lot of money, eh? Okay, I'm going to leave it there. It's about 80 minutes, an hour and a half or something, so I'm going to leave it there for now because I've got some stuff to do. I've got to go and teach a class. I hope you enjoyed it. There's a lot of reading. It's a text-based game. I'm not going too deeply into the reading or anything. I'm just having